Hi, hey, hello, my music peeps. It's Sunny, and welcome to an album review. The Doors. Never heard of them before, until now. and yeah, as a fan of psychedelic rock and pop, but there are other artists I listen to in that genre. This group is one of the OGs in the genre, and what better way than to dive into the genre proper, kind of use this as a reintroduction to really, like the genre more and, really understand the OG shit of this genre. By checking out their self-titled album, which was very interesting when I came across it because it's considered one of the greatest debut albums ever for an artist. And debut albums are a very special thing because that's they could have made music before, but their first album for a music artist is the thing. It's one that kicks off their whole journey, really makes them put their footprint into the world, and really showcases what makes them different, what creates their style, if they can make good music, and how long can you be entertained for through their albums. And not every first album has to be amazing as long as they get better and better, but for this to be considered one of the greatest first albums for an artist of all time, I have to see what it's about with a genre and a band that I now know of through this album. Let's just get into it. This is my review of The Doors' self-titled debut album, The Doors.
I found an island in your arms, country in your eyes, arms and changes, eyes.
Basically, The Doors consists of Ray Manzarek, Jim Morrison, Robbie Krieger, and John Deansmore. And basically, they wanted to make a band together, make music, and they moved all the way to LA. They popped off with many gigs, and in only 12 months, they finally signed on with a record label, Elektra Imprint. Very small label at the time, but they did house unknown legends who would become legends. And already, they made this album super quick because they were that talented, put it out there into the world, and thus, The Doors was formed. Off the bat with the opener, Break On Through to the Other Side. This is just very energetic, very kinetic, very aura, kind of song. It's got a very mandolic, jamboree kind of feel to it. It's just a pure fun track. So, it does a great job of being addictive and energetic and really kicking off the album and really like getting you into the mood of the record and makes you really feel like, okay, this is what The Doors is about, and really giving you an impression of what you think you're getting yourself into with this album. And then it continues onward and you have no idea what you're about to witness. Soul Kitchen, I always say this, I love when lyricism does a great job at describing, what the song is going for, and for this one it perfectly establishes a setting through very creative, rhyming in the verses, and it does speak well for the melody as well. It's not as kinetic as the opener, but it is very explosive in its positive aggression in the chorus. It calms down in a more bop-stop play of the keys to really make this a track that it juggles multiple moods in a very unique way. The Crystal Ship, already 3 songs in, this is amazing. It has a very distinct sound to it from the prior tracks, and it has a very heavenly tone to it, with almost instrumental choir aesthetic and the overall repetitive drums and pushing keys with a very deep vocal delivery from Jim Morrison. It's very celebratory. It's not really about trying to be in misery. It's for a song that's only like, all the songs so far, they're like 2 minutes. They do a good job at conveying so much in so little time. 20th Century Fox, another great song. It explores the band's, it really does. They do a great job at being descriptive in terms of their lyrics, and basically the song's about glazing a woman. Obviously if you read that you can tell, but it has a very carnival circus sounding kind of tone to it. It feels very, jingle jangle, clownish maybe a little bit, and overall it's got a really good arrangement, good flow going into it. It's like it's one of those songs where like glazing somebody, it really does fit that overall theme. Alabama song, Whiskey Bar. I think this one's kind of dark because once you really read the lyrics and it goes through with the overall song and really pay attention, this song feels very weird, zany, clown bass, almost loony tunes kind of ish. And when you read the lyrics, you realize if you really pay attention to what the song is really talking about when it comes to overall sexuality and money, it's very dark. and very, it's just very twisted, and I think that's kind of interesting. It's also very charismatic vocals from Jim Morrison. Just a very fascinating song, a great way of giving you something, and you look deeper, it really presents something else. Light My Fire. This is one of the best songs, probably second best of the whole album. Only 7 minutes, and it starts off very calm, lucid, just wanting to light up and get high. And then the entire middle track, pretty much the entire song, all the way till the very end, it's just this crazy whirlwind of a spin of such psychedelic, masterful music with its overall mix, its switch of the keys, a colorful tone, heavy percussion. It's just a very cohesive melody, and it feels so LSD. Like, this is, if you're ever gonna listen to music on LSD, especially when it comes to this genre, because that's what a lot of people do, and it's totally understandable. This is one of those songs you have to do that for, because it's just the perfect, like, definitive LSD mandatory psychedelia kind of song. Backdoor Man, kind of comedic when you realize what the song is talking about, what a backdoor man is. But it does a great, it has that very frisky, macho mano kind of vibe to it, very like stud walking, kind of refrain. It's very compelling. It's got an overall monotonous composition to it. It's got a very hard going interior dilemma, if that's the best way. And also, if I feel like I'm going fast talking about these songs, it's because these songs are like 2 minutes, most of them, so it's like not much for me to go off. But the fact that I can still say a lot about these songs just shows this band's talent. I Looked at You, it's very sweet, very simple, just looking at each other and how you can't take it back. It's got crazy drum smacking, fun enough chorus, an overall solid tone. I think it is the weakest track of the album, but it's not bad by any means. It's just very simplistic, but the fact that it's still really good and it's the weakest track on the album really shows a lot about this band's talent. End of the Night, I believe this track is much better than the prior track in being a short song and still being quite effective. And, this one feels tiring, but not in a boring and lazy way, because by the title of the track, End of the Night, it's the perfect song to where you're staring out the window late night looking at the stars, you go to your bed, you just start falling asleep. This song does that for you, not because it's boring, because it's intending to do that for you, and it feels very dreamlike, and I think that's very compelling, and this song definitely stands out, and I think it's the one that does the best with its short duration. Take It As It Comes, like, I love the message of it takes it slow, don't go too fast, and despite the song kind of going fast, which is hypocritical, and its tone and flow, I don't really care because it sounds great. It's very fun, it's very energetic, very personal. It's teaching a valuable lesson that can apply to anything. It's just got such a rush of persona, and I think that's very compelling. Then you have the final track, the closer, The End. Very fitting title. Holy shit, this is, oh my god. This song alone, album was going from a 10 out of 10, 50 out of 10 right there. Holy shit, this song, it's a magnum opus. The other 7-minute track, you think it's great. This one is just, it blows the whole album. Like, it makes every other song be like, whoa. Because it just comes out of nowhere and smacks you across the head. And, every song before was very enjoyable. This one it just comes out of nowhere. And I love that. It's just a full-on 11-minute psychedelic mind trip. It's very head-banging, body motioning, falling down this loophole of a musically accurate. And it's just got such rich writing and everything. Like, I'm just throwing terms. It's, oh my god. This is amazing. Holy shit, this is great. And how does the whole album round up? Album is very undeniable in that it deserves to be considered one of the greatest debut albums ever, because it doesn't just show that The Doors is a very talented, or was a very talented band, or, this is a very good debut album. It just comes out swinging. Most debut albums, their job is to just step one foot into the world of music. The Doors stepped one foot into the world of music and just started running for the whole album. It's amazing. I love it. I think it's a great gateway into psychedelic rock. Tame Impala. Always gotta bring them up, sorry. But they were my gateway. I think this band, being an OG legend, I think it still works today. Like, if you really like the genre now and you've never gotten into the Doors, I think this does a great debut album that lets you get into the genre proper, really see where all this kind of started. And, I'm for sure gonna check out more of their music now, because I think this album was generally fantastic. It really does stand out. It shows how every member of the band, adds their own unique flair to the band, as an identity, as a project, as a art. And overall, I mean, I don't know what else I can say. It's just got so much flair and sound to it, and it has a lot of interesting ideas too, that if you really pay attention and read the lyrics and how the sound of the overall songs make you feel, you really see what the band is going for. And I think that's just downright incredible. And for a debut album to be this hard, that's pretty amazing. And overall, those were my thoughts on the Doors' self-titled debut album, The Doors. And maybe I'll talk about them more often. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this album review. It's been Sonny, and so long, farewell, and goodbye, my music peeps.
Ride the highway west, baby. Ride the snake